The following Toku Podcastu contains spoilers from both past and present tokusatsu, anime, manga, movies and other related media. If you do not wish to be spoiled, we suggest turning off the podcast now. Otherwise, please enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Tokusatsu Podcast, the best show about Tokusatsu you probably never heard of. As always, I'm AJ, that's Jay!
I am full of chips. That is my only comment this week.
Well, do you remember that time Alfred
what? Come on.
Molina?
You're going to steal my bet. You can keep going.
I just said it, Molina.
What about Alfred Molina?
What about Molina? Oh, well, fuck. God damn it. Now I get it. Oh, you bastard.
Oh, my God. At least I didn't say Dr. Octagamicus or something like that, so it's fine.
Wow.
God, that thing is like, that's 20 years old, Jay.
I know.
Yeah.
Fuck
Dr.
me.
Octagonopus can vote.
Yeah, he can. Well, he's been able to vote for a while, I guess. It's been 2 years.
Yeah. Still.
God, the laser. What is that guy doing anyways?
He's doing a lot.
No, he's probably works at a bank or something.
Who, Alfred Molina?
No,
No,
not
Dom
Alfred
Farah.
Molina, dipshit.
He's doing a lot,
Yeah.
actually.
Dr. Octagamicus, Alfred Molina. Everybody from the Laser Collection. Phil, do you know what? I'm not even going to ask because I know the answer to that question.
Why?
Do you know what the Laser Collection is?
No.
Yep.
Yeah,
Saw that one coming.
Yeah. I'm not gonna
I'm going to look that up. What is the laser collection?
Oh, man. That's a rabbit hole you don't want to get into.
No.
Anyways, let's get, by the way, this is the mailbag.
Is it?
Why a mailbag? Yeah. Why is it
Wait,
a mailbag?
is it
Well, I don't know.
How is
Why-
it a mailbag?
Why is it a mailbag?
Because we spent almost 6 hours talking about the worst show I've ever seen. Outside of the Acolyte. Woo! Topical.
We didn't watch Acolyte.
Star Wars Bros. I can't believe the Chuds won. They canceled Acolyte.
I'm glad they
What are we
canceled
gonna do
Acolyte.
now?
I'm glad they canceled Acolyte. That
How many
show
times
sucked.
how many times is it going to be Jover?
Right? Well, statistically
anyways,
speaking, there's only one more time it can be Jover by the end of the year. Otherwise, it's just kind of
Anyways, so yes, after watching Ghost, we decided fuck you.
We needed a break.
Don't we
And we're
decide
going to
that
be
every
doing
episode
some
though?
mailbags. Yeah, but especially this one. You know, I didn't think that way after K-Tai. That was pretty good.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I didn't watch K-Tai.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch K-Tai.
But once again, we're delaying the inevitable, so we're digging into our ever-growing mail pile.
Well, it's mostly because I mean I can just pull back the foreskin now.
Couldn't you just say curtain?
It's like peeling a banana.
The meat curtain.
Me,
Don't say
Jesus
meat curtain.
Christ.
Damn it.
Yeah, never say that.
I
Is
will
that better?
concede to letting you talk about foreskin. Don't fucking say meat curtain again.
Did you know what a meat curtain
Is that better? I know what it is more than you do.
I know
Bill.
what it is. It's the extra.
Are you
flap of
asking
skin
whether I
on
know what a
fat people.
foreskin is or what a meat curtain is? Because I
I
can
know what
definitely
both
tell
of
you
them
I'm
are.
well versed in one of them, and I know what the other one is.
Look.
I know what both of them are.
Is this better or worse than Phil saying that he gave me the gash at Japan World Heroes?
I don't even remember that.
I know.
Probably
it's a hard question to
worse,
answer.
because at least
Oh.
that was Phil saying an innuendo by accident.
That he didn't know it was.
That is you deliberately saying something disgusting.
I should have asked what was worse, that or Scat Pop, but it doesn't matter anymore.
Well, Scat Pop was pretty bad, but thankfully that's dead.
I'm bringing back. I'm gonna bring back ska at least
We should bring back ska,
God's
in a big way.
right?
But yes. So
That gum you like is coming
we're-
back into style.
which one?
That gum you like is coming back into
Hubba-bubba?
style. That gum
Anyways.
you like.
So yeah. So we're doing mailbags because we were originally going to do a whole series of the Godzilla movies from the Showa era because we did it from the Heisei era. Unfortunate thing is that I guess fortunate is a better way to say it. I'm moving, so I don't have time to do so, but I do have time for mailbag. So there you go. So let's do it. This one is from Oliver, and it's the most topical one here. First official thoughts on the first official version of the first official episode of Gav.
I thought it was all right. It
really
was
good, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honest to God, really good episode. It was way better than I expected it to be. Way less annoying than I thought it was going to be. And way more saucier than I could have ever given credit for.
Pretty much.
Well, as is
really
the
fun.
second time I've said tonight, I went in with very bottom of the barrel expectations for it, and honestly, not only did it surpass what even at the best I could have expected, but it was really genuinely good. It was a very strong first episode. I think probably the strongest we've had in Reiwa since like maybe even Revice, to be entirely honest.
I think so. Honestly, I will say this. It should say something when, like Jay said, I had no expectations. I thought I wasn't even really going to care about the season. Somebody posted it in the server. I clicked play on the episode, and it hooked me. It legitimately hooked me. And I'm like, oh, I guess I got to watch the whole thing through now. There's no reason to stop. And I really fucking liked it. I really fucking liked it.
Oh, yeah.
I will say, and I'll give credit to Chad for mentioning this. Shoma's voice has a bit of the emus from X-Aid, where it's very annoying, but I think he's gonna lose that very quickly as the show goes on. I think that's gonna change as the show goes on.
Hopefully.
A little heavy-handed with the foreshadowing. A little bit too heavy-handed. It's
not even really it's barely foreshadowing, to be entirely honest. They kind of they kind of spell out all of the big twists very blatantly, which, as we like to always bring up, is this deliberate? Are we supposed to know, or are the writers just bad? I'm gonna lean more towards the latter. I'm going to lean this more towards like a Chase's dark. I always want to fucking say Dark Drive. Chase being Proto Drive, where we're supposed to obviously know that Shoma is related to the big bads and all of that. I think that's supposed to be obvious to anybody who isn't a 4-year-old. So I know that's kind of the main demographic of the show, but I digress.
Well, I was gonna say, could it be a Revice thing with Kinoshita where it's pretty heavy-handed, but he's going to tell it in a different way than you think he is.
Let's hope so.
It's possible.
I have this feeling, not in a for subversion's sake, but I have this feeling like they're putting this heavy-handed quote-unquote foreshadowing to basically be like, oh, well, we got you. Didn't expect that, did you? So we'll see what happens.
I mean, thinking about it, that's not really Kimura's style. For better or worse, tends to be very blunt about foreshadowing. I mean, both for good and bad. I mean, again, obviously, she's the one who brought us to White Wizard. I think... No, was she? I don't know. Well, she was one of the 2 writers of Wizard, so she was at least partially responsible.
More than likely.
She was partially responsible for White Wizard. But at least even in her better shows like Zenkaiger, she makes it work really well. We're we're being very blatant about what we're going to be doing here. And we're going to leave you just a little wiggle room to assume maybe something else is going on, but I think it's pretty clear that this is what's supposed to be going on, and we are supposed to kind of we're supposed to be enjoying that kind of dramatic irony of the characters not recognizing this thing. That's my take personally.
I would be inclined to agree. Again, I liked the episode a lot. Again, I really love the designs of the show. I will say that. I love. Again, it's very obvious what the designs are going for. You know, Shoma being this bright pastel colored character, and all the villains being almost like completely desaturated, dark, overly shadowed figures. I like it. I like the very obvious rosy kind of implications with the characters. It's fun. I will say, I don't remember his real name, but Valen. I know for a fact they painted that brother's fucking hair, and good God, it's fucking hilarious. He looks like a fucking ventriloquist dummy.
Yeah, they did introduce him very briefly, and I did like him as a character. I kind of like what they're going with him, where he's God, what is the best character to compare him to? He's like, fuck. There's a
not brain dead Shinji.
Not quite. No, I'm thinking of like a comic book character, more or less. Where he's like the guy who's
Jimmy Olsen.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, he's a little bit of Jimmy Olsen. Yeah, a little bit of Ichimonji, I guess. He does actually not Shinji, but he reminded me a little bit of Gen from Drive too, with the conspiracy schizo stuff. So I don't know. I really liked him a lot. I liked the stuff they're setting up with him. His boss seemed pretty fun, which actually I realized his boss is the secretary dude from Amazon's, which I was surprised to see him.
He's working.
Yeah, he's gained a little bit of weight. I'm not gonna lie, but he's still fun. You know, I liked him in Amazon, so I like his actor.
I wonder if he's gonna end up the same way.
It's possible.
That would be fucking hilarious. He gets ripped in half at the same time.
Dude, if Gov goes full grimdark, I mean, fuck, the show wins, dude. Like,
I mean, it probably is. You can't start the show off by literally saying they're eating people and not go kind of grimdark with it.
Well, I think we say that every season at this point, like, oh yeah, it's cutesy and colorful, but maybe they're gonna go grimdark. You know, if they go this direction, they're gonna do that, and then they don't do that, and we're like, oh well, we just kind of forget about it. But
like I think the ones that have gone grimdark have done it well, so I think Gov's gonna be able to pull it off if it does do it.
Yeah.
Should we say Gov or should we say Gub?
I would say
it's Gabu Gabu.
I'd say Gab.
Just to be pricks, should we say Gabu Gabu?
No.
I just want to be a prick and do that.
You are a prick.
Exactly.
I know. I'll give it another couple of episodes. I need to get my brain adjusted to saying the name.
Kamen Rider Jav.
No, that's a completely different kind of show.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Phil's favorite.
Ew.
No, wait, that's just whatever the next Giga show is.
Yeah, pretty much. I was about to say that's another Giga show.
Which I know Phil's very excited to watch.
Hell no, that stuff doesn't. Who gets turned on by that stuff?
You would be surprised.
Anyways, well, yeah. So Gov looking promising. I am excited to see the next episode to see when that comes out. Very interested to see where it goes because I don't know anything from her Senkaiger days, but she did write half of the shit for Akiba Ranger, and I do like Akiba Ranger.
Who doesn't like Akiba Ranger?
She did write half of the stuff for Wizard, so not very fond of that. But
I mean, if it does make you feel any better, she did write most of Beast's best episodes.
Okay.
But she also wrote most of Wizard.
That is true. That is true.
But she wrote Beast.
So. A broken clock. Anyways. Next question.
Are we on the next question?
Yeah, it is, because this one's from Steve. Topical name there, buddy.
Right.
Steve. Jay mentioned it before, and it would probably be a 3-hour podcast with this question alone. But what exactly did Haim Saban do that was so bad?
You're right about that. Jesus Christ. If we ever did that, I'd need to actually research and go really into detail.
You know what? Give a
sample.
an hors d'oeuvre version of it.
A little sampling.
Yeah, give him a Costco sample.
Let me try to give you a sample of just why Haim Saban is such a prick without trying to say anything deliberately anti-Semitic. Because
my God.
Look, I'm just gonna be honest. he is such a fucking caricature. It is almost surprising. So, obviously there's all the shit he did behind the scenes with Power Rangers and just the way the rights work, and we're kind of learning that more now with Hasbro and the way Sentai's dealing with America, where like it's a full Harmony Gold Robotech Macross situation where they fucking own everything basically outside of Japan. They're in full domination of it somehow. But even just kind of beyond that, in outside of Power Rangers and Tokusatsu, the man is just kind of despicable with the way he ran his business and saw himself and treated employees and treated IPs. And I mean, as much as I hate him, he was very talented in terms of creating productions and hiring talent. And I mean, the dude made some fucking bitchin' music, I'm not gonna lie. Have you ever heard the Spider-Man theme? I've heard the Spider-Man theme. But honestly, this is just my favorite Haim Saban story, just because of, like, it's so cartoonish the way it happened. But this is a good sampler. There was a story that Gene Simmons, he of Kiss, once told, where he was making a deal with Haim Saban, and I think Shuki Levy is his partner in crime.
Yeah.
Where they were striking a deal to do, I believe it was an animated series about Kiss. And they were there in a boardroom. They were there with somebody else. They had the contract all signed. They had everything else. They had this whole big thing planned. And then Haim Saban, 5 feet away from Gene Simmons, turns to his partner, and in, I think, Hebrew, right? That's the language? Hebrew. Yes. In Hebrew, he turns to his partner and talks very blatantly about how they're about to screw over Gene Simmons contract-wise, not realizing that Gene Simmons knew Hebrew, and he got very upset about that. That's kind of my favorite go-to Haim Saban is evil story, is just the man was so cartoonishly evil, he tried to trick somebody 5 feet away from them.
And like, the same name.
Literally, yes, actually, that's true. Gene Simmons' real name is Haim. I don't know how he didn't realize that. But yes, this is a difficult topic because of the obvious nature of things. So that's probably just the simplest way I can explain why Haim Saban was an evil bastard. If we ever want to do it, if anybody's actually interested, I could probably sit down, do some decent research, because I know at least of one other big instance that he did a couple of years ago that people are still kind of pissed off about. But if people actually want it, yeah, we probably could do it like a 3-hour episode just talking about how much of a bastard Haim Saban is.
Could do a deep dive video essay, Jay.
I probably could. If I had time to, I would.
You could. You should do it now.
I could. Will I? I don't know.
This is from Jorge.
I'm going to blame it on him, though. I see how I segued that.
Okay, so this is from Jorge. You've talked about Hakilis before, so I have 2 questions. Number 1, what do you think about his so-called trying to come back? And secondly, have you ever had any other unsavory run-ins with so-called Toku famous people, whether at conventions or online? Well, to answer your first question... Remember, kids, the wood chipper's feet first, not head.
Listen, I'm gonna whatever your fucking name is, I don't even care. Hawk. I'm gonna give you
Hawk to it.
Hawk S. Elays. I don't even think there's an S in his name anywhere.
If that is your real name.
Right? I mean, that's what my name is. It's J.B. Erdman.
Harvey Birdman.
Anyways.
Attorney at law.
Anyways.
Can you go
Anyways. I'll give you some free advice, completely free of charge, no bullshit or anything. If you're trying to plan a big comeback after a massive cancellation, don't use the same fucking channel! Jesus, man. I got a little loud there. What the fuck were you thinking, dude? Come on.
Well, the thing is because, again, I don't... Okay, look. I don't think he honestly thinks he did anything wrong. I don't think so. I don't think he believes he did anything wrong. He's going to come out. I can already guarantee this is how it's going to happen, right? Allow me to put on my acrylic nails and fake lashes, sisters, because I'm going to tell you exactly how this is going to go.
Hey, now, it's only Thursday night. We save that for Saturdays.
Oh, I'm slaying every day. So, this is exactly what's going to happen. He's going to put a video out, and it's going to start like this. My name is Hercules, and I'm gay. No.
We're not learning any new information with that one, though.
Ricky Martin ass motherfucker. Anyways, no. What's going to happen is he's going to put out...
Are you kidding me?
I wish I was sometimes.
If he was Ricky Martin, maybe I'd actually care about his content.
Woo! Maybe people would actually care about the content in general. Anyways, again, he's going to put out a video or a document or a Google Doc or a PowerPoint or a fucking...
Oh, you know it's going to be a video.
Infrared satellite directly into my fucking Apple Newton. I don't know. Doesn't fucking matter. It's going to come the exact same fucking way. I am Hercules. I didn't do anything wrong. All these implications are wrong. They're fake. They're just trying to get me. Cancel culture, cancel culture, cancel culture. Vote for Trump.
You know what?
That's how it's probably going to go.
Dude, if he does... I mean, I don't think he'll say vote for Trump. I mean, I think he'd sooner let himself stay off the internet than unironically support Trump.
Vote for Jeb.
I'd vote for Jeb again. Are you kidding me? Jeb sucks, but I'd vote for him.
A jabillion dollars.
The first candidate to win jabillion votes. Anyways.
But yeah, like he's gonna make a video about all these implications being false allegations. He's gonna fight to bring his name back and blah 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 blah. It's all gonna come down to one simple thing. I don't want to admit I did anything wrong, so I'm gonna tell you guys that you're wrong. Because why? Because he probably legitimately does not think he did anything wrong, even though what he did objectively was fucking creepy. Again, technically, and I'm going to say this now, technically what he did was not illegal. It wasn't. It's just not. However, what he did do was extremely uncomfortable, extremely unwarranted, and honestly, even if you want to go through the legality, just in a professional wise. That is sexual harassment, my guy.
Yeah.
To many people. Many people.
Again, we segue from Dan Schneider of weird but technically not illegal. Yeah, you didn't technically break any laws, but you're still being a fucking creepazoid, dude.
Look, anybody, and I'm sorry. look. The fact that anybody would show people porn unsolicited is weird. The fact that you show people porn bloopers unsolicited, and by the way, keep in mind, forcing them to watch them is 10 times weirder. Like, what is wrong with you? What is legitimately wrong with you? And again, you know, if you want to go with like the morality aspect, you know, just in general, the guy was an adulterer, right? He that's one of the 10. You don't do that.
Yeah.
He did things behind his wife's back while he already has a fucking kid with the girl.
Right.
So, again, even if you don't want to go that route and you think I'm just clutching my pearls, I don't know, dude. That's still kind of fucking weird.
Yeah, it is.
And the way he went about it was even weirder. Everything he did in regards to his conduct was insane. Why did it take that long for it to come out? I'm not too sure. Some people say it's because they didn't know he was the professional wrestler. And some people say it's because nobody wanted to come out at the time. I don't know. It's up to you to figure out your own reasons why this came out when it did and why it didn't come out before. I don't give a fuck.
With all call-outs, to segue from that, it's always just ends up being we're just waiting for a good opportunity to do it kind of thing. Like, yeah, we're probably sitting on this information for months or even years at this time, but we're just waiting for the right, proper slip-up to do it. And that's really what it ended up being. And by pure coincidence, Mars Girl also happened to be involved with this one, who's an expert at doing that. Just waited for, like, the most petty possible moment to reveal it. So, yeah.
Which, in my opinion, I was gonna say I'll let you go, but like in my opinion, that also makes her seem really fucking shady. To be completely honest, like, you knew this stuff about him and you just said it now. Like, why would you wait?
Maybe because
to be fair, she is somewhat well versed in waiting and keeping sex pests covered up. It is something she's done quite many times before, as we know.
Hey, you know what? The last one she was covering up blew his own chances.
You're right. That one did come out with a bang. And not
Don't say that while I'm drinking. I'm gonna choke.
Well, just stop drinking then.
I can't. I was in the middle.
I can't. It tastes too good.
It's too good. It's Slurm, baby.
It makes the pain go away.
It's Slurm.
Phil, listen. Alcohol is a crutch, okay? You don't need to solve your problem.
Jay, haven't you heard?
And I need two of them.
You need to do what I do, okay? Cut yourself and listen to emo rock. It helps. It's
Jay,
wet.
It's not alcohol. Didn't you?
I thought you were gonna.
Didn't you hear me? It's Slurm.
I thought you said. To be fair, I thought you were gonna say meth.
It's Slurm I'm drinking. It's Diet Slurm.
I mean, hey, that would definitely get Phil into physical shape for his shows. I'll say
to be fair, Phil, Slurm could be meth. You don't know what they put in that shit.
No.
Well, didn't you ever watch
anyway.
No. Okay. So yes, a lot of it was either weird but not illegal, or cheating on his wife, which is abhorrent. I condone many bad things on various levels, mostly because of whether I think it's funny or not at the moment. Cheating on your significant other is the only thing I will never condone. It is one of the few things I am 100% abject to in any situation. You do that, you've completely lost my respect forever. I don't care. I want you out of my life, out of my eyesight. But no, you're right, and you are probably very accurate at the way you're describing his comeback videos. He's probably going to take a look at all the things. He's like, well, yeah, I did it, but it doesn't matter because this, and this. They're just trying to cancel me. They are just jealous, or, I didn't do anything wrong, or, all of the actually bad things he's going to avoid the most, and you've ever seen one of these fucking videos, they're all the goddamn same. Every single time, these people are like, well, I didn't do anything wrong. That didn't happen. That did happen, but it's not bad because I said so. Blah, 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 blah. Cancel. Use it themselves. It's embarrassing. It happens every time. I don't know why people keep falling for it. Nobody really falls for it anymore. He's going to have a small level of sycophants who still stick with him. Which, considering he had, how many fucking subscribers did he have again? I don't even know.
He only had 10,000. Dude, okay. This is not to brag. I have more than him, so.
True. But even if we assume he only has a tenth, because that's usually what ends up happening is that you'll get a tenth of that follower base to stick around. Those people are fucking weirdos, and nobody's gonna listen to them anyways, because they're everybody else has a brain and can see what happened, and they're not gonna be swayed after especially this happened 3 months ago now at this point. Not even it just happened.
A little bit more.
Yeah. It was relatively recent. Not enough time has passed for people to have forgotten about it. Everybody still remembers what happened. First and foremost, going with the delete fucking everything route usually means you've done something wrong. Coming back now after all this and trying to pull that card is not going to work again. But it's still too fresh for people to just forget about it. So I don't really know what the fuck he's thinking. If at all. I don't think he is thinking at all. Granted, has he ever? So, I don't know, I said at the start of the segment, he should have just fucking made a new channel, dude. He should have just fucking changed his name, put on a fucking voice filter or something, and just started making the same fucking slop he always makes. And he probably would have gotten away with it for a decent amount of time. Yeah, sure, he wouldn't have the following he has. He'd have to fucking start from the beginning. But the fucking brain cases that followed him to begin with, they'd probably subscribe to him and just, he's just saying all the same. He's just like him. Wow. it's really suspicious how this guy is completely like this guy we all hate, but we really like this new guy who's completely the same. Huh. You know.
I mean, look, the thing is, whether you want to believe that Mars Girl had a hand in it or not, or she did it solely for petty reasons or not, that's not my thing. That's not what I'm here to say. The fact of the matter is that this guy, objectively, was already on thin fucking ice with the entire fandom. Besides, like, the few idiots who were leeching on him. Like, the few idiots who were leeching off of him. He was already not liked by a lot of people. And I'm talking about in terms of opinions, in terms of the way he carried himself in the community, the way he thought of himself in the community, the way he liked to basically, in a weird way, like sub-scam people, and just in general. And of course, that's not even getting into the torrenting situation. That's a whole other thing entirely. But like, the guy was just not liked in general. Like, I am going to say this now, and I'm putting it out there. I don't think a lot of the legitimate fans like a lot of tokusatsu YouTubers. I'm just going to be honest. I don't think a lot of people like those people. I don't really think a lot of people like Prawn, and I don't think a lot of people like Hawk. I don't think a lot of people like Markusatsu, and I don't think a lot of people like any of these people in reality. So getting rid of Hawk was more like just a ticking time bomb, less than, oh, nobody could ever see this happen. Like, no, he was gone. He was pretty much not liked anyway, so it happening when it did, it was more of a coincidence more than just a shock,
Yeah, he was definitely on his way out, just judging by a lot of the response to the things he said and did, just in general, the last year up to that point. So I think you're right. I think the timing is maybe coincidental, but I am of the persuasion of they were just waiting for a point where enough support for him in the community had dropped off to the point where they could get away with doing it. That's my personal opinion of it.
I mean, in reality too, like that's the thing. Like, he was so small in terms of the community, anyways, that to me, it's almost not even a shock that they went after somebody that's small. You know what I mean? Not to say that what he did was not still gross or disgusting or wrong, but it is still funny that, like, he was pretty insignificant. He's a nobody in the grand scheme of things. And the fact that he got where he did is honestly quite shocking, if I'm going to be honest.
Just a case of right place, right time, knew the right people.
Well, he knew the right person.
True.
To be fair. The only guy who actually gave him a platform. Well, no, I guess that's the thing, right? Like, he was buddies with Markusatsu for like the longest time. I know that. He was really buddy with him and Prawn, and then they both fucking dumped his ass. I mean, granted, I know they were going to. Anyways, funny enough, this actually is from a Tyler, not the Tyler. The creator? You know what? If you listen
Speaking
to
of people
show,
who have been gone forever, where the fuck did he go?
He's making another album? Tyler, the Creator.
I don't know. I haven't heard from him in years.
Making another album. He made Igor. Then again, I don't know how long ago that was. I don't remember. But maybe he's doing stuff. I don't know. He's doing.
I guess so.
He's doing Tyler things. He's doing Tyler things. Whatever. This is from Tyler.
Tyler things.
I went back to listen to the older podcasts pre-crisis.
Why the fuck did you do that?
Why?
And wondered what happened to half of the people who started on the podcast. They're fucking dead.
I can explain this one.
Hopefully, literally, in at least two people's cases.
Well, let's go down. You know what? Let's save the main event, because I know which one Phil wants to talk about, and I know which I want to talk about. But let's save that guy for last. So let's go down from the original members. So we had Sam.
Sam's married now.
Sam, he's on his own. He's doing his own thing. You had Autumn, who kind of disappeared off the face of the fucking earth. Who else? Oh, you have Rob, but Rob's still here. Like, he doesn't join very often, but we still talk to him.
Yeah, he still hangs around.
Yeah.
Life's going pretty good for him, I say very sarcastically.
Rob?
Yeah.
But I would say
seems all right.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
I mean, I don't know. I get the opinion is things could be better, but things could be better for everybody.
That's why you have Magic Mind. No, just kidding.
Yes.
So you have Mike, the guy who faked cancer.
Not
I
again.
have no problem saying that. No problem saying that. That guy was a piece of shit, and he deserves to be fucking said to be a piece of shit. Who else? I mean, you had Jess, but Jess just kind of ghosted us after a while.
Doesn't he work for Toku Nation? Or is that somebody else?
I think he worked for them for a little bit. I don't think he does it anymore.
Yeah, I know. I was like 90% sure it was Jess, but
I don't remember. Let me think. I mean, there was a bunch of one-offs here and there. I mean, again, they're just one-offs. Nemeth, we have spoken out about plenty of times, and he deserves everything that we've said about him because he was an asshole.
Oh yes.
But I guess you're really. I'm gonna assume who you're really asking about is the original host of this show, Mr. J.C. Calloway. Oh yes, Mr. J.C. Calloway. We kicked him the fuck out because he was an embarrassment.
We liked. Okay, so I can explain this. We really liked the original members and ourselves. We really liked doing what we were doing. But when we found out that JC was going to replace us with other people, we said, no, we're not doing that. We're taking this over from you. You're not going to be a part of this.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I've told the story before. The original plan was get everybody on the podcast who was on the podcast, get everybody in, and then replace everybody, and then do it again. Basically, just a revolving door of like 7 or 5 guests every single time.
Which is just a terrible idea for a podcast, by the way.
Especially
I mean, to be fair, again,
genre.
So, like Phil said, we didn't like that. We kicked him out. It was embarrassing all around. And every once in a while, he comes out in my mentions or in my comments, and I see he's still pretty bitter about it. All I gotta say is get the fuck over it.
Pretty much.
Go ask your mom about another spoon.
Still being embarrassing. I wasn't even on the show when they started, as we all know. I interacted with him a couple of times because he showed up in a few places that I know I hung out in. I think he was in our Discord for a little while at the very start, mostly because we invited him as a joke, as you do.
No, he came back into our Discord and tried to get people to join his Google Hangouts.
Yeah, that's right. He showed up in our Discord right when we started to do it, and we decided to mostly keep him around as a joke, but then he started shelling his own stuff in our server, and we're like, we're not doing that. No, thank you. And then he tried raiding us. Miserable experience that was.
Well, see, it wasn't even so much shilling his stuff. It's just like really awkwardly saying, like, come join my Google Hangouts. Like, we have people talk about their own stuff in our server. That's not a problem. It's just like, join my Google Hangouts. I'm like, I'm not clicking any link to anything. That's just not a good idea. But yeah, he's a strange one that we thankfully did not keep around. Again, Jay didn't meet him because Jay came in about a year after. Well, he came in during Ghost, so he came in like way after we kicked him out. Thank God.
Yep.
But I know enough about him in passing.
Yeah, he was a. We do know that somebody. I won't say who. We do know somebody met that guy at the previous Power Morphicon that just happened. My condolences to you, by the way. So, that's pretty funny. But yeah, that's pretty much it for all the past members. I mean, you know, there were like one-offs here and there.
Yeah, guests and stuff like that.
Yeah, people here and there. But that's about it. There's really nothing too exciting about it. Like again, there's only been like 2 people. Ironically, both fox furries. There's only been 2 people. I know, right?
Weird.
If I had a nickel for every time a fox furry came on our podcast and was a complete asshole, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot. But it's kind of weird that it happened twice.
How did you even find our old videos?
I've been waiting for a chance to use that.
How did they even find our old videos anyway? I'm on our YouTube channel, and the only thing, the earliest we have is Tokusatsu Tokubite. What's wrong with the Western fan base from 4 years ago?
Oh, well, they're not deleted; they're unlisted. Like they're on a playlist that I've posted places. I don't think I posted it in the server. I think this person found it like maybe on my Twitter, maybe on the Facebook page. I'm not sure, but they probably found it around there somewhere. But yeah, so people have, again, they come and they go. Whatever, it's not really my thing. Oh, we forgot to talk about Josh. Forgot about him. He's still there. I'm still friends with him on Facebook. That's what I know. Yeah, but he does things, I guess.
Josh and I didn't get along.
Yeah, I remember you didn't get along with Josh too much. But to be fair, Josh was kind of not to be mean to him, but he was kind of a hair trigger at some things. So it's
vaguely recall Josh.
I don't know if you ever met him. I don't.
The name's familiar because I know there was like, I remember Jess and somebody else way back when I first started who was a regular, and I don't fucking remember who. So it might have been him.
Not sure at all. But let's see. Next one here. This one is from. Let's see. This one is from Kayla. Have you seen the new Garo series? Will we review it? I have not seen the new Garo series, but we will review it one day.
I watched the first episode and I thought it was pretty good. The official sub sucked, so I'm like, I'm gonna wait until all this is done and hopefully somebody fixes it. And I haven't touched it since.
I know Shun Nishime is in it, which makes me very happy.
Yeah.
Shun Nishime is gonna become like my fucking Bob Holly, dude. He should be like my hardcore Holly. I just love him.
Hardcore Shin Nishime.
Oh. No, Sparky Plug Shin Nishime. Sparky Plug. Man. Yeah. I have not seen it. I know it happened. Though it's weird that there was pretty much no fanfare as it was coming out. Like, people talked that it was out, but it didn't get any like real attention in my circles on Twitter or anything like that. So I'm not too sure about what happened there. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems to be pretty common for Garo, I think, at this day and age.
Maybe. Well, I guess that is the next question then. Oh, here's a fun one. This one is from Caleb. This may seem like an obvious answer, but why do so many old tokusatsu suits look just terrible?
They don't take care of them, and a lot of wear and tear.
Yeah. Well, I think that's interesting. Do you mean like within the context of watching the original show, or do you mean in like a modern context?
I'm assuming he means like modern context.
Well, in a modern context, a lot of times the suits you're seeing aren't the original suits. They've been remade. Like, the Kakaider suit they use, that's been remade. Rider 1 and Rider 2, those have been remade. Inazuman, been remade. All of these old, like, Toku heroes, with the exception of, like, maybe Sentai, and even then a lot of the older Sentai ones have been remade. Those are not the original costumes. They've been redone. And the reason why they look like shit is because they're usually done cheaply to either put them on display for an expo, maybe a stage show at best. They're going to be used basically one time, and they're never really going to be seen again. They're cheapo. They're deliberately made just to be cheap.
Yeah, yeah, and not only that, but like if you're also talking about the ones that are obviously looking a bit rough, it's like Phil said. Unfortunately, a lot of these, they don't take care of them. And from what I know, again, you can correct me on this if I'm wrong. From what I know, a lot of the suits that you see used for like anniversaries or crossovers, some of them are not the show suits. Some of them are the action suits that they use for fucking everything. So of course, after a while, those are going to really show their wear and tear. And I'm not sure if it's because after filming, they put the nice shiny suits away for the museum, or if that's the only suit they have available. I don't personally know.
I think that's what it is. I think is like the glamour suits glamour suits they put away for museums or just never to use again. And whenever they do bring it back, it's either a stage show suit they've repurposed, or it's the regular action suit, like with Blade, who is still the same fucking action suit they've been using since 2004, and looks it.
he got King. Well, that's the joke, isn't it? He's always in Jack.
Yeah,
form now.
He's always in Jack form, and he's got a very suspiciously purple torso now.
Ooh,
it's a shame because a lot of these suits really do deteriorate. But again, at the same time, there's only so much you can do to combat that. Like,
right.
For example, I think the number one example everybody loves to use, Gills.
Yeah,
everybody uses that one. There's only so much you can do to combat that happening to a suit, because unfortunately these suits do age, they get old, and the materials they use sometimes, they're just not up to snuff to be preserved for a long time. That's just the way it is. Like, not only that, but you also got to remember these are being made on a budget of like a ham sandwich and a handshake, pretty much. So even if they are made to last the show, after that they might as well just puff into a ring of smoke, basically.
And it's not just rider suits; even Godzilla suits do that as well.
Oh yes,
yeah. Godzilla, Ultraman's better about it because they do tend to remake the characters once they start getting really bad. Like Ultraman, the original, got his suit remade a couple of years back, and to be honest, his remade design isn't particularly good. They made him really unnecessarily buff for some reason. But they do, like everybody else, they do remake the suits every couple of years once they start getting too bad. And for the most part, they still look fine. Like Seven still looks good, Taro still looks good. But you have to understand again too, like we're saying, is a lot of these suits are made just to last through the production, and they don't really think about the longevity. Even nowadays, where they're thinking, okay, we're going to be doing 10, 15th anniversaries every other year. Like, these suits weren't really expected to last 20, 30 years or so. And that's assuming they even keep them.
Yeah.
A lot of old suits have been junked. Like, a lot of the old Showa-era Ultra Kaiju and stuff, and even some of the Ultra suits from back then have been destroyed. They don't keep a lot of these. They've got rid of a lot.
Haven't there been a few instances of people, like, again, not corroborated by anything. Haven't there been a few instances of people like basically dumpster diving at like the Subaraya like locations and finding this shit in the dumpster?
I don't believe there's any been confirmed, but there are definitely known instances where they destroyed suits, like very publicly. So it's not really all that surprising if there were. I know people have stolen suits. There's of course Leopardon, as we all know.
Oh.
But that's
how do you steal that?
I know, that's still really fun to me. It's like, how the fuck do you walk off of a film set with that thing and nobody noticed? Did the entire studio just go to fucking lunch that day at the exact same time or something?
Probably.
Seriously.
Oh, hey, Takeshi, you look a little bloated today. Bad sushi. I'm all right.
It's my allergies. Don't worry about it.
And it's not just...
it's my allergies. I can't eat sweet potato. You know me. Oh, silly Takeshi.
And how, like for anybody who's watched Power Rangers Dino Charge, if you notice this and watched Kyotoger, the suits look very faded in color-wise.
Yes, that too is I forgot what I was gonna say. Yes, now remember, like Power Rangers is a good example where you see the suits, and a lot of them are still using these same suits, and Hasbro or Saban or Disney or whoever, they're not keeping as good condition of these suits as Toei or Tsuburaya do, and it's really noticeable. But even the ones where they do direct imports of the original suits, they look very noticeably weakened at that point. And it's gotten really bad too in the HD era of stuff, where you, like, after 2 or 3 episodes of form showing up, you can start seeing all of the dents in the foam and the fabric and the cracks in the paint. I fucking remember Q Ranger. They introduced a power-up, and literally within the same episode it's introduced, you can already see that thing falling apart. It's got a very noticeable crack in it. The wings are all beat up. There's a reason why they used it once and then didn't use it again.
Oh, Pegasus.
Last episode. Yes, Pegasus.
I mean, shit, you say about the HD stuff. I mean, even the stuff that's like 4K'd or like upscaled or anything like that, like the Blu-ray editions of a lot of writer shows, like go back and watch Fies. Holy shit, the amount of times I'm surprised those suits did not just rip apart is kind of surprising. Because they look really fragile in the like when they're like bumped up to like 4K 1080p Blu-ray edition, stuff like that. Like watching Agito in like crystal clear, I can see their pores like definition. I'm shocked that Gil suit wasn't destroyed during the fucking production. Like after, sure, but during the production, that thing looked like it was about to fall apart.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You notice that too, even nowadays with like a lot of the suits in Gotchard are looking really shitty by the end of the season. And it happens with a lot of shows. It's not just like it's kind of just a universal thing where, you know, you're going to be spending several hours a week for an entire year fucking blowing these things up and shooting fire at them and getting into fights and fucking rock quarries and stuff. They're gonna even the best well-kept suit is gonna take damage after a while.
Yeah,
I will say I am shocked that Geats 9 looked anywhere near presentable by the end of the season.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
That is one that is just like expecting to be destroyed.
Like pure white, like dude, I'm surprised it didn't have a bacon strip there somewhere.
It did have a bacon strip.
But no, that's the. And these shows, as we said, these shows don't have a lot of money to even maintain the suits during it. If it's on the shelf, they're really not going to spend a lot of money to redo something and like remake a suit unless it is absolutely necessary. Like
unless it's like stupid popular, yeah.
Right? And even then, they might not even bother. Because like you could be somebody like say Shin, whose suit is in such bad condition they literally just had him be a mannequin in the last crossover movie.
Well, that's just Shin though.
True.
Shin is suffering, but like, fucking what was one I was thinking about recently? It wasn't Shin. I think it was either Jay or Zeto that they showed, and I was like, are his legs peeling? Like his legs are peeling off. It was bad. I was like, that's gross looking.
Oh, and they speaking of legs peeling off, when they had was it Eternal in Gotchard? That thing looked so fucking bad. Oh my god. That suit.
Oh, I didn't get to see that.
Well, first and foremost, it was really bad because all of the promo pics, they didn't correct the color, so you can see how just badly yellowed it is. They had to digitally alter the color of the suit in post-production, and even then it still looks... It's still very noticeably yellowed. And this is a problem with like a lot of the double suits. Dude, those fucking thighs are destroyed. Those things are barely
oh my god,
together.
the fucking... I think someone posted a picture of Extreme the other day.
Oh.
I don't even know how that thing's still standing. I don't even know.
Dude, speaking of like... We talked about it earlier on the Ghost episode. I don't even want to know what the fuck Mugen looks like nowadays.
Oh.
I'm sure that thing is gonna just make me vomit if I look at how they've kept it.
I would like to know like a resource to find this stuff.
Right. I don't think they have any reason because a lot of this stuff is behind the scenes. Obviously they're going to be keeping it in a warehouse. They're not going to be putting like a spotlight on it. You'd have to probably get somebody who works at Toei or, you know, the suit manufacturing or whatever to get that information.
Well, see, you say Mugen. I would be surprised to see if those Deep Spectre horns have not warped to other.
They probably have.
Well, I'm just saying Mugen because of all the clear plastic it has. That's more than likely going to be gross and like yellowed by this point.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that's just Gotchard's future in the next few years, though.
It's gonna pure chrome is not gonna.
I am surprised about how well conditioned the Gotchard suit is by the end of the show. The fact that it is still 99% chrome and reflective is astounding.
They probably just reapplied the chrome multiple times.
No, because even then, like you're gonna have you can't really re-chrome that one. You'd have to redo the entire finish. You can't just slap a new coat on it and just make it look good. It's not that easy.
Well, you say that too, right? Like, what does fucking Genius look like?
Oh no, with all the bottle colors and everything. Oh,
all the clear bottles and the pure white, that thing must look like a fucking hellhole right now.
I mean, I'm sure the bottles will probably be fine because a lot of those weren't clear; they were colored. But like,
well, no,
yeah,
but like
white,
they're probably gonna like
they're probably gonna
really
merge with the colors. The colors are probably gonna merge with the white.
No, I was thinking more along the lines of like the colors are gonna fade because this is gonna be a really weird deep cut. I used to have a Nerf gun where it would basically be like it would have like a liquid tube that basically looked like the full bottles on that suit, and after a while, that clear tube turned the color of that liquid. So I'm like, maybe it's just gonna warp and turn into like a weird goop or something. I don't know.
It's possible.
Probably.
So yeah, like unfortunately, a lot of these suits, and we're just talking about Rider stuff, like the Godzilla suits. A lot of them are not best. How the fuck? I think Jay posted the other day the fact that there's the Showa era Mechagodzilla suit that's still in almost perfect condition.
How is that possible?
Any Showa era suit still that condition is astounding, but Mechagodzilla at anything is astounding. But like,
I mean, shit. I think that's the infamous scene from I think it's Godzilla versus the Smog Monster where you can see the arms visibly like flaking off.
Oh
my god.
That was a fucking. I think it was either the Smog Monster or
Ghidorah.
Godzilla on Monster Island.
Definitely one of those two. But yeah, Sentai gets a little bit better about it just because of the way Sentai suits are made. They tend to kind of remake those more frequently, but even those don't like survive very long.
Yeah, and the dry cleaning is probably really bad on them because again, like I said,
they don't fucking bother dry cleaning that shit at all. If you look at the gloves or like the boots, those things are fucking filthy after the show.
Oh yeah.
I can only imagine what those smell
like. What show was it that they had a crossover for recently? It was something I don't remember. I want to say it was Kyoryuger. Yeah, I want to say it was the Kyoryuger special where like the gloves were just vile. They looked like they were in a. Oh no, I think it was Go On Red in Boon Boonger, which he just looked fucking bad.
Oh.
It looked really bad. Oh my god.
See, the problem is I never notice these details because I'm too busy looking at the damn subtitles, but that's bad.
See, that's the problem is it's one of those, once you've started noticing, you can never unnotice. Like, I always like to point these out just because it's, it's funny when they leave a flub in of damage. Like, I always bring up Surprise Future where there's the sword that is literally held together with packing tape. But
that was fucking great.
It's great. But at the same time, it's like, once you start noticing these, especially with like reunion stuff, it's really noticeable. Like it
kind of hurts.
It kind of hurts, yeah. Like we talked about it a bit with the Fi's 20th, where Kaiza looked like shit, Fi's looked like shit, Delta looked like shit. I'm surprised the Orphanox suits looked as good as they did, and even they weren't particularly.
I think they made new Orphanox suits.
They definitely did not remake the Snake Orphanox. That was definitely the original suit, and you can tell.
Oh,
they had to have made a new one for. They had to make a new one for what's her for Mai. They had to make a new one for Mai or Mari.
Yeah, well, yeah. Obviously, that's a new one because that didn't exist before.
But that
I was gonna say, like,
Orphanox.
I remember when we watched the O's 10th anniversary, like, Birth suit looked particularly gross in certain scenes.
Yeah, the Greed weren't looking particularly good either in that. That was yeah, I think it's just the nature of the way they treat these things where like they don't think about these things and they don't really store them in a way that they're going to last. So and it's just like again the nature of the material and just time and storage. Even the best unless you're keeping it in like a sealed coffin, a lot of these things are going to age and going to deteriorate with exposure to the environment.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and like you said yourself, it's just the fact that like it's just the lay of the land. Like unfortunately, these suits are not made to last, and until they fix that, maybe they'll last a little bit longer. But oh my god, you know what I just thought about? I would hate to see what fucking Vice's suit looks in the next 10 years.
Oh man.
Oh, that's gonna look rough.
Imagine what that thing smells like, because I remember seeing in Gokaiger. If you look at Gokai Yellow during Gokai Silver's first fight in Gojujin, you can see a pit stain underneath there. Those suits have got to be like, ugh.
Oh yeah, that's also the thing we don't talk about is Just
the smell.
The smell for in general, but the nature of the human body interacting with these materials is obviously going to speed up any deterioration.
Oh yeah, 100%. But yeah, as depressing as that is, that's just the way of the land. So let's see here. This one is from Robert. Oh my god. Okay.
His name is Robert.
Robert Cop.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
He might be a cop. We don't know.
He might be a robot. He might be a cop.
But
he might be a RoboCop.
But one thing's for sure, he is a Robert.
He might be. Anyways, I may be viewing it from a Western perspective, but why does Ultraman always seem like the number 3? From what I know, it's fairly popular and people all over the world love it. So why does it always seem to settle for being the 3rd most successful? Or is that truly just an outsider looking in?
I think that's just modern popularity.
Yeah.
Ultraman's been pretty steady in America overall, so it doesn't quite get as big of a blitz as, say, Rider or Sentai does. Because, like, Sentai's, of course, always been saddled with Power Rangers, for better or for worse. Mostly for worse. But, so Rider is, of course, like, the go-to one that everybody thinks of in terms of, like, a Western fan base. Ultraman has never really gone away in that way. It's never needed to come back, more or less, so it's always just kind of been steady. So it never really gets those big pops.
Well, yeah, it's like you said, like, Ultraman... It's always been... I mean, let's be fair. Ultraman and Godzilla have been here for way longer, obviously. But they've always just kind of been in America. Like, everyone knows what Ultraman is. Like, if you ask somebody on the street, like, pick out Ultraman, they're more than likely going to know what it is. And then again, maybe if they're like a fucking Gen Alpha, maybe they don't. But they're more than likely going to know what Ultraman is compared to, like, Kamen Rider or Sentai. Because it's just part of the cultural zeitgeist in America. And the thing is, like Jay said, like, once it's been around for so long, it's hard to really get that big push when it's not a new thing. It's always just been here. I don't think that's a bad thing either. I think the fact that it's been consistently popular in America when Sentai and Rider have not been should probably tell you that it's not really a number 3. It's just a very cozy number 2, if anything. Maybe switching up with number 1 every once in a while. Only because it's been here forever and it's part of culture here. Again, it's like Godzilla. Everybody knows what Godzilla is in America.
Yeah.
You're hard pressed to find one American who does not know, oh, Godzilla. Like, everybody knows what that is.
Pretty much.
So I don't think it's the fact that it's a number 3. It's just a league of its own where it's just cozy to be by itself. It's like, again, it's like Godzilla. Godzilla's not competing for popularity with Rider or Sentai. It's just a thing that does exist. But that's just the way I see it.
That's a good way to put it. Ultraman's not really competing for popularity at this point. It's already won. It's more just kind of existing along the sidelines. It doesn't have to fight for attention like Rider and Sentai do. It already won. It already did what it needs to do. It can just hang around.
It did what it needed to do back in the fucking 60s.
Right.
So, there you go. What about you, Phil?
What do you mean?
What about the question?
What about it?
Well, I always feel that more people talk about Rider than they do Ultraman. Ultraman is kind of like that niche of the niche, if you get what I mean. And it's like a lot of people, they're gonna know Power Rangers more because of Power Rangers, and they're gonna associate that with Sentai, and then that'll lead them into Rider, and who knows, it might lead them to Metal Heroes, and then eventually they get to Ultraman.
Well, there you go. But it's not as good as Ultraman.
It's not as good as Ultraman.
Everything was better with Ultraman.
But again, it's one of those things where, like Jay said, it's comfortable. It doesn't need to compete. It's a comfortable number where it is now, and it's just there to enjoy. Like, it's kind of like Looney Tunes. They don't need to compete for nothing. Yeah. All right, next question. Next fucking question. This one is from Sarah. What are your thoughts on the fan films and fan series for Tokusatsu that have been going around the last couple of years? I haven't seen any.
I kind of make it a habit to not really engage with fan series like that, because I've not really ever seen a good one.
Well, I have.
So... Oh, you have?
I've seen the one I'm thinking of right now is Power Rangers Unworthy. That's the only one I've seen recently, and it's all right. It's basically they created an OC called the Arbiter, who's the first Ranger ever created. He fights the Mighty Morphin team, and then there's apparently Ninjetti, and there's all this other stuff. I haven't watched it past the 3rd episode, so like I'm not the best when it comes to answering this question. But if we're talking something like Power/Rangers, that was just really, really dark.
Oh, that was just bad. I remember watching that and I thought, this is bad.
Yeah, just hearing that was like, that's terrible.
Power/Rangers. I'm like, man, you just Power/kill yourself.
I like how he still tries to use the excuse of, it was a parody, dude. You just took it too seriously.
No, I was just making fun of it, guys.
Right.
It's totally just making fun of it, guys. It's just a joke, guys. It's like, well, jokes are supposed to be funny.
Right? Exactly. But yeah,
all right,
as soon as there's a good one, I'll let you know. But I have never seen it.
What about Legend of the White Dragon?
Fucking what about it?
When is it coming out? When's it coming out?
Hopefully never at this point.
Well, no, Jason David Frank's daughter, who is also Jason David Frank's daughter, by Jason David Frank, said it's coming out someday.
Was that his daughter? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it was his son.
I don't think there's enough information to prove that.
Jason David Frank?
Yeah. Well, there's not enough information left to prove he existed either, so.
Is it too soon?
No,
is it too soon?
Nah. I mean, too soon for what? I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I'm just saying, did Jason David Frank exist? I don't know.
This is from Jay to Jay.
Hang on a second. I always send my emails anonymously. I didn't fucking send it on my own name. Unless we got some sort of fucking Earth 2 shit going on, huh? Is that it?
No, this is like Earth. It's like we're going by like Earth C or something.
Why is it Earth C?
I don't know.
What Earth is that?
Do you know the Tales of Earth C?
Earth C is like Earth C is the one where Superman crashed into Kansas, but it wasn't an alien pod. He was just one of the terrorists on 9/11.
AJ, you know there's a series.
You said, "Let's get a happy one." I wanted to make a 9/11 joke
AJ, you
too.
know that there's a book series called Tales of Earthsea. You know that, right?
You know what? Damn it, Phil! You stole another joke I was going to do.
Well, anyways, back to 9/11. So this is from Jay by Jay. You may get into it when you do the Millennium Era. But why does Jay seemingly hate all of the Millennium Era movies?
Oh, I know.
Because they suck. It's because they're all bad is why I hate them all. They're all...
But you love Tokyo SOS.
No, I actually don't even think I've seen Tokyo SOS.
But you love...
Final Wars.
Batra.
Batra's not from the Millennium Era,
he's in the Heisei era, you jackass!
Yeah.
You love
Were you thinking of Megaguirus? Because I wasn't thinking of Megaguirus.
I was thinking of Megaguirus.
Yeah, Batra was from like the 90s. Whatever fucking Mothra came out. I don't remember.
Megaguirus was
No, you love Godzilla, Ghidorah, Mothra, King Ghidorah, and Anguirus, all monsters fuck.
And Baragon. Because everybody forgets Baragon was in that movie because he doesn't.
And Baragon's here too.
Anguirus wasn't even in that film. It was Baragon.
To be fair, they matter just about as much as each other. I mean, okay, GMK is like all right. It's pretty fun for how skits how it gets, but it's not like I wouldn't say it was good. They're just none of them are very good.
You know, eventually
Godzilla 2000 is okay, but is so hilariously cheap, it's almost unwatchable.
You know, eventually
seriously, have you ever seen that movie? They're like 90% of that fucking movie is either CG or a green screen. It's embarrassing.
Again, like I said, we might have to watch those in one day.
Right? Well, we're going to eventually. GMK is barely okay. The Mechagodzilla one, which has a really stupid name, is just not a very good movie.
How can you
because
not
the cast sucks. And Yeah, fuck Kiryu. He
fuck
sucks.
You. Kiryu rules.
To be fair, that design has not aged well.
Kiryu?
No.
I like Mechagodzilla 2. I'm gonna just say Mechagodzilla 2. I don't give a fuck. The second one from the 90s. I like that one way better than Kiryu.
Yeah, the Heisei one is way better.
No.
That one like looks like fucking Mechagodzilla. That looks like the original Mechagodzilla, like souped up. That they look like they're the same character.
Yeah, because
like,
Kiryu is supposed to look like a mechanized Godzilla, you fool. And
yeah, but he looks like fucking dog shit.
He looks like
look,
it.
I get
You're
what they were
gonna
going.
give me an aneurysm.
I'm not saying he doesn't look like a robot Godzilla. I'm just saying he looks fucking bad.
No, honestly, if you look at him, this is gonna sound really stupid. This is gonna sound really weird, but if you look at him, he actually looks more like Kiryu from the Yakuza games than he does Godzilla.
A little bit.
Like, again, I understand what they were going for with the Kiryu design in the Millennium Era, but it's a bit much.
Not really.
It's such a fucking lame Hot Topic tier edgy design. It just looks fucking lame. Like
it's on the same level of fucking Gigan.
I like. Oh my no! Well, Final Wars Gigan kind of is so fucking astronomically stupid.
How do I look, Godzilla man?
He wraps back around to being amazing with how bad he is.
I'm gonna be dead honest. I wish that they made a DX version of the edgy Gigan. I wish they made a DX version of him.
Well, they have a Monster Arts version of Gigan.
Yeah, but I don't want a Monster Arts version of it. I wanted a DX one to scale with my other DX figures.
But no, okay. Godzilla versus Megaguirus. Literally, who the fuck gives a shit about that movie?
But he jump.
I guess he does. Tokyo SOS. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever actually seen Tokyo SOS. I don't remember anything that happened in that movie. All I know is that they put Mechagodzilla in it again. Or Kiryu, I guess, or whatever the fuck we want to call him.
Kiryu!
And that's all I remember about that movie. And then there's Final Wars, which they, of course, have said multiple times is one of the worst Godzilla movies. Because it's fucking stupid.
Movie.
It's a fun action movie, but it doesn't make a good Godzilla movie.
No, Phil. It is not a fun action movie. It's not fun. It's schizophrenic and it's drug-inducing. And every time I watch it, I, honest to God, feel like my chromosomes being rearranged. And
it's the Kingdom Hearts of Godzilla.
I fucking love
Except
it.
Kingdom Hearts is at least Kingdom Hearts is coherent.
No, you know what? No. It's the Kingdom Hearts. Which game should I really go for?
Dream Drop Distance.
I'm not gonna say 2.
Dream Drop Distance.
Because 2 is legitimately fun.
Chain of Memories.
It's not.
No, you know what? Birth by Sleep, because that's when they started getting really fucking edgy.
I was gonna say Birth by Sleep. To be completely honest with you.
There, mission accomplished.
I mean, to be fair, you could say like it's recoded.
Fucking who cares about recoded?
Nobody cares about recoded.
So you say Mega Gyrus is recoded.
Mega Gyrus.
Mega Gyrus.
Okay.
Gyrus.
I'm sorry. Are all 4 Mega Gyrus fans gonna get mad at AJ about it?
I'm gonna get mad at him.
At least I didn't say.
Well, that's because you're one of the 4 Mega Gyrus fans.
I'm not even a fan of Mega Gyrus. I hate Mega Gyrus.
Then why do you care?
At least I didn't say it like Mijagurius or something like that. I will say too, because again I've seen all the Millennium movies. Tokyo SOS is like the most okay, outside of like
Final Wars,
King Ghidorah, outside of King Ghidorah, Mothra, Godzilla,
Just say GMK. Just say GMK. Okay.
No.
Just say GMK.
No, I'm gonna say King Ghidorah, Anguirus, Baragon, Mothra, Magaro,
and Gandalf the White, and Monty Python and the Holy Grail's Black Knight.
And the ultimate showdown. Anyways, fuck.
Anguirus isn't even in the fucking film.
He is now.
Exactly.
He is now. My headcanon that he's just there under the ground. And he just
AJ Mandela affected from the universe where Anguirus was in that movie.
Yeah,
Baragon was still there, but Anguirus was also there now.
No. See, Anguirus is just like underground. He's there, but you can't see him. You can't prove me wrong.
Anguirus got the ability to turn invisible in that movie, so he's just there. You just can't see what he's doing.
Again, I will say most of the Millennium movies on a movie level are pretty shit. They are pretty shit. Again, I love Final Wars, but it's not a good movie. It's not. It really is not. But every time I put it on for somebody, they're like, "Holy fuck, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen." But again, a lot of the movies just aren't that good. That's just. I think it's also the fact that a lot of those movies were made really cheap too. It seemed.
Yeah, the Millennium era is very budget friendly.
Would you? Okay, this is just me asking this out loud. Would you argue that it's cheaper than the late game Showa era?
I'd say a little bit, because at least even in late game Showa, they were still like making suits. A lot of like Millennium, it tended to be very CG heavy. They didn't tend to be doing physical suits on physical sets. I mean, they did a little bit here and there, but a majority of the time it ended up being CG, and that's kind of where the cheapness came in.
Well then, Phil's disgusting, awful opinions on Kiryu aside.
Oh, fuck you.
Next question then.
How is that any different than Phil's usual opinions?
You're not funny.
Calm down, Skull. Jesus.
Skull Island?
Yes. Bulk and Skull Island.
No, that was the comic where I think Bulk got his fucking neck snapped.
How are they still making Power Rangers comics?
Because it's gritty, and I can finally take Power Rangers serious again.
Oh, they rebooted it. They're just completely rebooting it at this point.
What the fuck? What's the point? So quite literally, they're having a Power Rangers crisis.
No, they already did a Power Rangers crisis. They're doing a Power Rangers Flashpoint.
Called Shattered Grid.
Oh, fuck off.
Yes. Their solution to fixing everything was literally just rip off Flashpoint.
Fuck off. Like, find the shortest cliff you can actually find and fuck off of it. God damn, that's so stupid. I
still need to read the rest of those comics.
Who the fuck unironically reads those comics?
I do.
Well, Phil, for one. So I think you can kind of fill in the blanks.
Oh, I filled them in, all right.
Hey,
I see.
Puns! I got it!
Well, that's the only thing in that conversation you're going to get. Ayo!
Oh, shut up, Jay. At least I get more than you.
Fine. No, you don't.
Two.
Phil, you can't multiply by 0. You know that, right?
I can multiply by 1,000.
What? 1,000 times 0? Yeah.
Phil, I don't think you want to start crunching the numbers against Jay. I think you're going to lose that battle.
Do you know how many kids I have?
Kins? What are you, Kenny now? What's your what are you, a fucking other spirit, wolf spirit or something?
No, he's one of those made up Therians.
Ugh, don't fucking talk to me about Therians.
Guys, it is late. I am getting tired.
Yeah, me too. So stop with your terrible opinions about Kiryu and let's get on with the next question.
Kiryu is an awesome kaiju. Shut your mouth, you bird-headed, bird-brained butthead.
And here we go again.
It's been too long. Okay. Trust me, I've got like 20 other questions, so I'm only going to cut it down to 2 more for tonight. All right, this one is from Jasper. You've talked about overhated and underhated, but what shows do you think are overrated and underrated? Let's start with overrated first and then underrated next. Overrated. If we're talking strictly any tokusatsu show, overrated, I'm going to just throw it out there. It's Build. Kamen Rider Build. The most overrated Kamen Rider show that I've ever fucking seen. Like, bar none. Everything that people have said they love about the show is garbage. It is just absolute straight trash. It's like, someone told me that they watched fucking Empire Strikes Back, and what I got was Attack of the fucking Clones. It was just insane to see the quality between the people jerking it off and the actual show. It's like a whiplash to me. Maybe that's why it seemed so bad to me at the time. Maybe I have to rewatch it again. I'm not going to, but yes, it's kind of insane. It's kind of insane. Jay.
I can go through the list. Let's see. Build's good one. Kyoryuger. Gaim, King Ogier, the Ryu Soldier.
Do people actually like that show?
I guess.
What a fucking waste.
Saber had fans somehow. They wouldn't call that overrated.
Ghost had fans.
True.
Well, they're not people.
I don't think anybody actually liked Trigger, but if they did, it would be overrated. Taiga was overrated. People fucking see it. A lot of the new gen Ultras were really overrated, and they weren't very good. Like Red Blue or whatever, how you fucking say it, was not very good. Yeah.
Well, you could have told me that before I bought it.
And that's just like recent stuff. If we pick Sentai again, if we go back, let's see. You know what? I'm gonna say it. Gokaiger is pretty overrated. I like Gokaiger, but that's super overrated.
No, you're right. Well, again, I think you mentioned it before. It's Babby's first Sentai.
It is Babby's first Sentai, yes.
And even somebody who liked Gokaiger at the time, yeah, it really is. And it's not that great. It's not. We'll have to talk about it when we eventually do our Gokaiger review.
Oh yeah,
it's really not that great.
No, it doesn't really hold up. Let's see. If we're digging again in the past, no, because everything in like Heisei up until like Gaim is pretty much accurate in terms of popularity. Nobody talks about the Showa stuff because the Western Toku fans are Philistines. Zhu Ranger is one that's pretty overrated, but again, we've talked about that before. It's a lot of just the Mighty Morphin bias. Tiga's honestly a little overrated sometimes, but I think it definitely does at least reach that level of like it definitely deserves the praise it gets, but I think a lot of people who have not necessarily seen Tiga kind of overhype it.
I'm going to be really unfair, Jay, for the overrated. I'm going to be really unfair. SPD.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about Power Rangers because
SPD is garbage.
They're all overrated,
like,
to be entirely
honest. No, like unironically, legitimately, I will stare you in the face and say in a court of law, SPD is so bad.
Why?
Well, like, thank you for saying that, sir, but that has nothing to do with the murder case you're on trial for.
Actually, if I said that in a court, I'd probably be like exonerated.
No, you'd probably be told to shut the fuck up.
I think Gaim's overrated.
Yeah, Gaim is really overrated too.
I'm glad Chad isn't here. He'd be crying right now.
I think Chad said himself.
I think he admits it.
Yeah, but it's still funny to make me think about Chad blindly defending Gaim sometimes. I know he doesn't, but that's just like that's funny because that's his character. Because Gaim is his thing.
You mean like the poster Artsy made?
Yes, that one.
That's a fucking great poster.
Actually, no, but again, speaking of Artsy, I really loved that little drawing she did for she posted on my birthday.
That's right. It's Old Man Phil's birthday the other day.
It was Old Man Phil's birthday. Can you believe it?
I don't know if she made. I don't remember when she made it, but she made this little picture of the clown version of me smoking a cigarette in this ominous pose, and I just gotta say, Artsy, I loved it. Thank you.
I pinned it, by the way. But yeah, so again, Gaim is pretty overrated. SPD is just garbage, and I don't know why anybody thinks it's that good.
Again, I mean, you could say that about every Power Rangers show with like one exception.
You know what? I'm only saying this because there are people who legitimately like the show. Ginga is overrated, and I'm not even joking when I say that.
Oh yeah, Ginga's fucking bad.
Ginga's bad. You know what? I'm gonna stick the knife in Jay a little bit. No homo. I'm gonna say it now. Z is pretty overrated. Ultraman Z. I find it still very overrated. I don't think it's as good as people told me it was going to be. I was expecting grade A, like gold. I didn't get that at all. I got like bronze.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair one. I mean, I disagree, but I think that's fair to think it was a little overrated.
I just don't think it was as good as people told me it was going to be. I expected like really high quality. Like it wasn't bad. I don't think Zed was bad. I just don't think it was that good either. It was like it's fine. I enjoyed it, but I expected like really high quality for what people were telling me it was. I was like, oh, this is like sliced Jesus Christ bread or something, man. But no, it really wasn't. As for underrated, you know what? Let's go in reverse order. Phil, what do you think is the most underrated? Oh,
Phil,
hello?
I got nothing. I was gonna say Garo, but Garo's not really underrated.
No, I'd say it is.
I'd argue some of the Garo seasons are pretty underrated. I think the second season of Garo is pretty underrated because I know people were into it before, but I think after a while it's kind of lost its luster to a lot of people, and I think it's not fair because I think a lot of people should really watch the second season at least. I mean, look, I think you kind of already know which one I'm going to say because I mean it's still probably one of my favorite shows that we've ever done.
Kuga.
Kate. Well, no.
Oh,
no,
Keitai 7.
That's Kuga is not underrated or overrated. It's exactly where I think it should be, at least in modern times. No, yeah, Keitai 7. Keitai 7 is really underrated, but I think it's because not many people have watched it. And I think a lot of people should. I think people should watch Keitai 7.
I'm gonna watch it
to really show like what the meeting could be.
I'm gonna watch it.
You know what? Another one I'll throw out there. Again, this is just me shilling it because I know Jay and I really like it. I think Vandy Nights is really underrated. Vandy Nights, because I think it's because nobody watched it also, but I think people should just to like really get like that taste of weirdness from it. Oh, you know what? And I know Jay and I kind of came to the conclusion that it wasn't that good, but I also think Hibiki is pretty underrated for what it did to Kamen Rider as a whole.
Yeah,
because it had a lot of really interesting ideas and a lot of interesting execution to the concepts it brought to the table. It's just unfortunately
everything else kind of fell with it.
Well, yeah, everything else that happened during that second half, and even Jay and I said, like, unfortunately, even the first half wasn't terribly interesting, if we're being completely honest. I think that one is pretty underrated in terms of, like, Tokusatsu as a whole. Don Brothers, obviously. No, I'm just kidding. that would be fun.
I want to say Common Teacher.
You know what? I'd have to agree with you, only for the fact of one, I don't think a lot of people watched it too, but it's also because nobody can watch it anymore, really. A lot of the sites that had Common Teacher up are gone, and of course the subs that I found on that blog spot are also gone, because the chick deleted them all, which is really weird. But yeah, I would say that's pretty... Oh, you know what? Another one from our past, Shogeki Goraigan is pretty underrated.
Oh, that's a good
in
one.
modern times.
That one I wouldn't necessarily agree with, but that one's definitely could use some more attention.
I think it's underrated in modern times.
I think that's a fair sentiment, yeah.
I think the longer we go away from its release date, the more underrated it gets, because a lot of people don't really like to venture out into the strangeness of Tokusatsu sometimes.
No, I think
it's pretty underrated.
We've talked about that before. A lot of the really obscure shit that we like to talk about is definitely underrated, just because nobody talks about it. So, which is honestly like a lot. Like pick any of the things that we've done that you've never heard of before we talked about it, and there you go. There's your answer.
I mean, I wouldn't say Wecker.
No,
well,
I wouldn't say Wecker.
I think Wecker is exactly where it fucking should be.
In the dumpster.
Yeah. I think I like Rosetta.
Of course you do.
Do you like Rosetta? You love Rosetta.
No, I don't.
You met him. You met the guy, and he was like, "Yeah." So you have to love Rosetta now.
Did I meet the guy? I don't remember meeting the guy.
You met the guy.
What guy?
The guy. You were like, "Oh my God, Rosetta," and he was like, "Hey."
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, you met the guy.
I thought you were just doing a bit. You met him too. Why are you doing that?
Oh, well,
you were there.
I didn't do anything. Was I?
Yes, you were.
I was a tulpa.
You've always been a tulpa. This entire podcast has just been me talking to myself.
It's just been a complete. It's been a psyop tulpa.
Right.
The tulpas you made have created a psyop.
That actually happened.
You know what? It's Pinkie Pie tulpa all over again.
Ugh. Don't remember.
No, but yeah. Like,
I wonder what that guy's doing right now.
Probably shot himself by now.
You know what? Good. Good.
He's probably dead. No, I mean, I guess you could say that too. I mean, I wouldn't say Eco-Gander is. Oh no, Eco-Gander is underrated. I would hesitate to say that show is underrated. I don't know. It's hard to say a lot of them because some of them I do think it's just because they're not good or people don't talk about them. Again, like Jay said, choose any of the shows that we've done that people don't talk about, and you've pretty much got your answer. But that's about it. That's about it for that question. Let's do this last one, which is this one actually is unironically really easy to answer.
That's your answer. Good night.
Good night, folks.
Good night, everybody.
Stop recording.
No, this is the actual final one. This is from Kyle. What was it with Kamen Rider having such tasty looking food in their shows for a while? I don't know.
That's a good question.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, I think it started with Wizard, where they had just a lot of like good look. I mean, I guess technically it was O's, but they skipped Forze with that one. Like Wizard had the donuts, but they actually did sell. They actually sold those, by the way. I don't know.
Gaim had all
Wizard
the fruits.
did the donuts. Gaim had the fruits. Drive had the milk candies. Ghost is gay. I don't really know.
I can tell you, Abba Ranger has a lot of good food.
I mean, if you really think about it, yeah.
I think it just ends up being a thing where they pick a food to be a central focus of a character or like a quirk, and I mean, if they're going to be showing it a lot, they don't want it to be shit, so they might as well pick something really good.
I mean, Kewpie Mayo.
Yes.
I mean, hell, now we have a literal rider this season whose basically entire gimmick is gummies and snacks.
Yeah, I mean that's a good. I mean, you had Saber with the eclairs. You had 01 didn't have anything. Revice.
No, actually, milk. Revice. No, not Revice. 01 didn't have that. No.
Revice had the milk. Did Gates have anything? It was just like the generic food stuff that they had. Oh, I guess it was udon, right?
It was the soba, yeah, every now and then. That only came up every couple of, like, dozen episodes or so.
Yeah.
They didn't really have a trademark thing. Gotchard, well, his mom was a cook, so it was a couple of different things that came.
So it was always different types of food.
Yeah. But the food,
I guess again, like,
the food, funny enough, looked good, even though Hotaro was supposed to be a dog shit chef. So I don't know. I guess presentation
good chef,
is key.
but he just isn't very good at it.
Again, I think it's just one of those things where it's like Jay said, they don't want the food to look shit unless that's part of the joke. I will say though, I would definitely smash some of those donuts that I saw in Wizard. The donut maker, I mean, some of the shit they made.
Give me a few jelly-filled ones, and I'll be happy.
Oh yeah,
I do like jelly-filled donuts. Who doesn't, right?
I love it. I love jelly-filled. I love lemon custard-filled. I love cinnamon donuts. Oh my god, I like donuts.
Phil likes to get filled up, if you can tell.
On food.
I mean, hey, who doesn't? Man, I haven't had a good donut in a while.
The innuendos continue, don't they?
Innuendo.
I actually, you know what I had yesterday? This. I had I went to Dunkin', Krispy Kreme.
Oh, thank God! I was about to say, if you went to Dunkin', you said it had something good, I was going to shoot you.
No, I actually, funny and real talk. I don't think I've ever had a Dunkin' donut.
They're bad.
Oh,
they're
when you come to the city, you're coming to get some.
No.
Dunkin'? Why don't you take me to like a good donut place?
Well,
right?
I mean, there is one in my hometown that's really, really good. It makes some really good jellies.
You know what? Take me to that one.
Phil, Dunkin' Donuts is the Boston thing. It's fucking garbage. They suck. They're the worst.
Jay, there's literally a Dunkin' Donuts in the subway terminal.
Phil, there are. Plaza. I am not joking when I say this. There are literally 3 Dunkin' Donuts within a mile of me right now.
You know how many Starbucks there are within
that is a low amount of Dunkin' Donuts for Boston.
Jay,
I am not exaggerating.
Jay, we have the same thing. Okay, do you know how many?
So then you should know they suck.
Jay rents above.
One of my Burger Kings got turned into the one that was closest to my house. Got turned into a Dunkin' Donuts.
I can't tell if that's an improvement or not.
Hey, you know what?
It's not an improvement.
I don't know either.
It's not an improvement because I liked that Burger King.
You know, I kind of fuck with a Whopper. Every once in a while, you know what? I kind of fuck with Whoppers. No mayo, but I fuck with Whoppers.
What are you, gay?
I love.
Yeah, I actually like the mustard.
We don't have mustard on ours.
Look at this queermo boy here, guys. He doesn't like the mayo on his burger. What the fuck's wrong with him?
Not on Burger King, dude. I mean, they come on that thing like fucking elephants.
Innuendo.
That's the bonus.
Like, dude, like seriously, like they. Have I ever told? I think I told you guys the mayo midget story. It's like that, dude.
I think so.
It's just a jar of mayonnaise on a fucking burger. That's just gross.
I mean, it can be overpowering. What was I talking about? No, I was talking about how fucking bad Dunkin' Donuts is. It is the worst. It's slop. It is slop of the highest degree.
Would you rather have a Dunkin' Donut or a Starbucks pastry?
Depends.
You're going with cheap slop or expensive passableness?
Do I have to pay for it?
Yes, you do.
Probably.
There's no suicide option.
Probably the donut, because at least they're cheap.
You know what? That's fucking fair.
I don't like Starbucks pastries, but at least I am not paying, $5 fucking for one at Dunkin' Donuts.
Dude, honestly, the last time I had a Starbucks pastry, I felt
the only thing I ever get at Starbucks is a dragon fruit lemonade and a chocolate chip cookie, and that costs like $10.
Oh, dude, that's why I just stick to 7 Brew now. 7 Brew is like my thing.
You should stick with Dunkin'.
They're which? No, I don't want Dunkin' Donuts.
Why not?
Because they're fucking bad.
Okay, I'll say this about Krispy Kreme. They got really good jelly donuts.
Man,
I haven't been to a Krispy Kreme since I was 11.
They put one at the mall.
Well, there's
they put one at the parking lot of the mall of my mall, and I'm just like, I'm happy.
We have a Krispy Kreme like 10 minutes away from my house right now, so we went to go get the Barbie Krispy Kreme donuts. They were pretty okay. I mean, they're fucking just dolled up fucking regular donuts, obviously, but they're all right. They're fine. I would rather Krispy Kreme than a Dunkin' Donut any day, because I like Krispy Kreme.
That's because Krispy Kremes are good, and they're like real donuts, and they actually make them. Fucking Dunkin' is frozen, rehydrated slop. They're bad. They're fucking bad.
You know what?
They're terrible.
Okay, without naming a local place, name me a chain. Best bagels to get.
We don't have any.
Chain bagels. That's a good one.
Somebody get on that. You can probably make a lot of money.
I don't recall if I've ever had a bagel at Panera's. Most of their bread is pretty good.
You know what? Panera's bagel. I actually have had a bagel at Panera. It's actually really nice.
I don't eat a Panera.
I've maybe gone to a Panera like once or twice in the last couple of years. I don't know. Maybe
I fuck with their teas.
I like. You know what? The specialty drinks they have were good. I like that lemonade that kills people.
Really good.
I mean,
oh, dude, it's funny you mentioned that. The blood orange lemonade. I actually got a large of that once. I drank the whole thing, felt nothing, and then my wife was like, "Oh, that's supposed to have enough caffeine to kill you." I'm like,
yeah, they've got like 400 milligrams of caffeine in them, allegedly. Even though I drank one once, I'm like, I'm feeling a little bit of a buzz. But that's because I'm a caffeine addict anyways, so.
At least a couple of my pubes got burned off, nothing crazy.
I mean, I was starting to see colors, just a couple, but
You see them normally, you do meth.
Well, I mean, you don't usually see colors when you do meth.
You could.
You start seeing the spirals,
Again, I like the bagel from Panera. The one time they fucked up my order and gave me onion and chives cream cheese, and unironically, it was probably the best bagel I ever had at a chain. Again, I don't really know many bagel chains. I mean, we have a few local places down here. Like, there's this food truck that gave me a really nice bagel. Though every time I ask them for a plain bagel with cream cheese, they always look like I shot their dog. It's kind of weird.
You could at least be a little more original. They're telling you not to be such a basic
what's the problem?
bitch.
What's the problem with a bagel and cream cheese?
The problem is that you lack imagination. Anyways, the only other like bagel chain I can think of is like Brugger's, and I don't think I've literally ever been in one. There's one near my house, my new apartment. Maybe I'll go at some point, but I don't really care.
I went there for when I went to Syracuse, and yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, I remember you telling us about that, and both Phil and I making a lot of fun of you for going to a fucking chain place to get bagels in New York City.
Well, I went to it wasn't New York City, it was Syracuse. It's different. It's very different.
It's 4 hour difference, and it's not the city.
Well, no, like, there was a fucking local place that we tried to go to, but they said we'd have to wait 4 hours for the fucking bagels to be done.
That's ridiculous.
I was like, no, I don't want to fucking wait. Well, yeah,
they were just gaslighting you, dude.
To be fair, the bagel that they had there was like $14. I'm like, I'm not paying $14 for a fucking bagel. I'm sorry.
It must have been good.
You can just come to my place. Come to my place. Pay $5 for one.
Which one?
It's a bagel.
No. What place?
Any bagel shop.
Motherfucker, which one?
I don't know. I don't know the name of it. It's near the bus stop I take to Brooklyn.
Oh, well, fuck Brooklyn.
Hey, it's a faster way of getting into the city than it is. Actually, no. Taking the ferry is a faster way to get into the city.
Well, then why don't you take the ferry then?
I take the ferry when I want to go back home. I don't. If I want to get to Union Square, I take the bus in, and then I take the train.
Train? Who takes the train anymore?
I do.
We all take the train. AJ, if you live in a metropolitan area, you're taking the fucking train.
I didn't live. I guess I did technically live for like a week or two in Austin. We didn't have to do that. We just walked everywhere.
What did you do?
Everywhere.
Well, that's what you also do in the city or a major metropolitan area. You walk or you take the train.
Well, yeah, but I'd rather walk than fucking take the train. Who knows where that train's been?
Probably the train station.
Dude, I'd rather walk than take the train. I like walking.
I do too.
I like to walk too, but I'm not. But if I take you guys to Anime NYC next year, we're taking the train instead of walking all the way over to Hudson Yards.
Does that mean I'm going to live in your car?
You're not living in my car.
You sure?
We're not asking for consent, Phil.
To be fair, like with my, I don't think we could fit in the car, like lengthwise.
You could fit in my car if you came to where I live.
I could comfortably lay down in your car, is what you're saying.
Lay down knowing your tall ass? No.
What kind of car do you have?
Buick Encore.
Oh, you drive a Buick. Well, you're a fucking faggot.
Hey! Hey! Don't mock my Buick.
I will. I will.
At least Jay drives a fucking Chevy.
I don't have a car.
Yeah, that's the thing. Jay doesn't drive a car, so you can't compare.
Well, see, the thing about that is...
What? I want to hear this. I'm all ears. What'd you say?
Buicks are gay.
On what grounds?
On the grounds that they're gay.
On what grounds, asshole?
On the grounds that I drive a Toyota.
Yeah, you drive a Japanese car.
Was that a problem?
I drive an American-made car.
I mean, the Toyota works pretty fine.
My Buick works fine too.
No, but it's like a Buick.
What's so bad about a Buick?
No one likes Buicks. Not even John Buick.
John Q. Buick, creator of the Buick.
No, it's John B. Buick.
Of course, I forgot. I was thinking about it.
Okay, I think we've done enough for tonight.
Have we though?
Nah.
Because you still haven't told me where to get the fucking bagel.
Well, listen. I know where to get the bagel, but We'll have to save that for.
Where are the bagels?
We'll have to save that for next time.
Yes.
Well, when Anime NYC happens.
Yes.
Hopefully.
If it happens.
If that other secret thing doesn't happen.
Yes.
We're not supposed to mention that.
But they don't know what I'm mentioning.
We don't know what we're mentioning either.
But I do.
Do you?
And you'll find out what it is next time.
On Dragon Ball
I'm
Z.
joking, you're not. No, Dragon Ball P.
Yes.
Dragon Ball Phil.
Yes.
That sounds terrible.
That sounds amazing.
Of course you would think so.
Right.
Imagine
Dragon
if Phil
Ball
thought this
Phil.
Phil show was going to be bad. Jesus.
Well,
what would would that be as bad as like somebody like Eddie Murphy saying don't go see Pluto Nash?
Who?
And then nobody went to go see Pluto
Okay,
Nash.
I kind of ironically like Pluto Nash for just how stupid it is.
I saw it at a bar and I was like, I half understand what this movie is about.
Is it because you were drunk, it was loud, or you literally couldn't understand what the movie was?
All
you know, now we
three.
gotta watch Pluto Nash like smashed off our gourd.
I kind of don't want
We
to.
should. But we should.
Well, it's either that or Faithful Findings.
I'd rather watch Fateful Findings. That movie's good.
That movie is amazing, actually. I can't believe you committed suicide.
I cannot believe you
can't
committed
believe it.
suicide.
I just can't believe it. I need that movie in my life every day, on a constant loop.
So good.
I need to understand that movie. We have to show that to Phil the next convention.
Yes.
Maybe Chad if he's there too.
All right.
Definitely.
By the way, we're still recording if you can't notice. Yeah, so next time we're gonna do another mailbag.
All right.
I already told you guys that was gonna happen last time. If you weren't listening, that's not my fucking problem.
Maybe.
That's Jay.
Yes, it is me.
Phil already had an intro.
Did not.
Well, good thing this is
And
the
that's
outro.
his outro.
Yeah.
No, that's the outro.
Yeah, I didn't have an intro. I didn't have an outro, so don't gaslight
What do
me.
you call this then?
I call it an outro.
Well, that's what is it? Then you had an outro.
I didn't have one.
But this is an outro.
You said I didn't have an intro.
You did.
But now you have an outro.
No, he doesn't.
This
But
sounds
this is
very,
what
very, very, very disgusting.
I know you are, but what am I?
Disgusting.
I know. But what am I?
Disgusting.
You know what? I'm going to start this the same way I ended it. I want to peel the foreskin back in. Bye, everybody.